How's it going, everybody? Today I have for you some more magic. Today I'm going with a Rakdos Reanimator deck, with Zombify being added in the Foundation set. This is probably the best time to be playing Reanimator decks. I don't have a sideboard set up for this deck, although it wouldn't be too hard to set up, but you don't really want to be playing Reanimator in best of 3. A lot of people, almost everybody, will have a sideboard specifically tailored to Reanimator decks like Ghost Vacuum, Leyline of the Void, different things like that. So I'm going to be playing best of 1 with this. This is a pretty consistent build that I've put together. You can put Atraxa in this deck and work fairly viably, though I don't prefer having Atraxa in it. It is possible to hard cast it with Collector's Vault, because you get those treasure tokens, but I don't like playing any cards in the deck that I basically can't play with the mana base. So I left out Atraxa. I've got 3 Valgavoth, Terror Eater, 2 Atali Primal Conqueror. I like this one still better than the other Atali that was released in Foundations, because the enter the battlefield trigger rather than the attack trigger is just better in my opinion. We've got a couple of Trumpeting Carnosaur, which are really good reanimation targets as well. We've got a few Overlord of the Bellmark, which can really help you cycle through your graveyard, get more cards in there, and find what you're needing. We've got some Liliana of the Veil, which is very important. Liliana is a really big thing against us that can be dangerous since we don't play a lot of creatures. Making us sacrifice our one big one that we zombify or bring back is really annoying. And as I was saying, so we have Zombify, which is a 4-drop return creature from your graveyard to the battlefield, which can be really devastating. We've also got Valgavoth's Faithful, which if you already have it out on the battlefield, it is also a 4 cost to bring something back. But then the card that I don't see anybody else using that I think is really worth playing is Live or Die. Even though this is a 5-drop, it is instant speed. The only instant speed Reanimator card that I know of. You can bring something back from your graveyard to the battlefield during your opponent's attack step and really get them with a surprise, and they won't have necessarily a good answer to get rid of it. I have won very, very many matches just because I use Live or Die to bring out a Valgavoth or an Atali during my opponent's attack step. Or their end step. If you're playing against a really control matchup, you can do that during their end step, make them use their mana on their turn to try and counter it, or if they can't counter it, then that lets you get around board wipe effects too, Sunfall, stuff like that, or sorcery speed. If you can bring out your big creature on your opponent's turn and then attack on your turn, they can't Sunfall it. So this card, way better than anyone's given it credit for. I definitely suggest that you run some of these in any Reanimator deck that you're using, whether that be Orzhov, Rakdos, whatever. This card's really worth it. We've got 1 Harvester of Misery, which is pretty good. Since this is best of 1, I try to run this deck open to more answers than usual. So we don't have discard or anything like that other than Liliana. We can discard ourselves with Bitter Reunion, which can be really huge in this deck, also being able to get an Atali go off and then attack with haste, things like that. But, so we've got 1 Go for the Throat, 4 Bitter Triumphs, 2 Cut Downs, so pretty strong removal package. We've got Brotherhood's End, which can be really good against artifacts, but also is a fairly decent board wipe since it deals with anything up to 3 toughness. And then we have Harvester of Misery as another board wipe. However, this one you're probably going to use as like the discard -2/-2 and then get back with Overlord of the Bellmark, because that's a really good use for it. And then Liliana obviously can make your opponent sacrifice things and can allow you to discard things from your hand. Collector's Vault allows you to dig through your deck very deep and give you lots of mana while you do it. And it also lets you discard anything you want out of these cards into your graveyard really easily. Bitter Reunion, very similar. It lets you dig. It doesn't give you mana, but it lets you dig deeper into your deck and discard these big bombs into the graveyard. That way they're not sitting in your hand not doing anything. We've got a Nowhere to Run, just 1, but it can really help against things that are playing a lot of hexproof or ward costs that get really obnoxious. A lot of enchantment decks still like to play that. And then Bitter Triumph is also another way that we can discard some of these big things from our hand as well. So this is a very consistent deck. I've played with it quite a bit, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm going to go for 3 wins for the video and see how it goes. I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, this looks like a pretty acceptable opening hand. Our opponent is going first, which is disappointing. Looks like we're up against Dimir, which is at least a little bit annoying. I don't like going up against decks that counter my stuff. Wouldn't be surprised if he just goes straight away for a kill here. Yep. No surprise whatsoever. Right now we are looking for ways to get things into our graveyard. May end up just using Trumpeting Carnosaur for a discard. Gonna get rid of our Live or Die. Yep. Again, no surprise. This player is playing pretty expectedly. That's difficult to get rid of with what we currently have. So may have to just take whatever comes with it, unfortunately for now. We can reduce the amount of damage that it's doing with our Harvester, which is nice. That'll make it to where we can survive a little bit longer and maybe just win off of it killing itself. Got 5 mana right now, which isn't enough to do anything with, unfortunately. He is on a clock, though. He has to kill us quickly. Unfortunately, he can do so without very much trouble, unless we get something actually useful here. That helps, actually, quite a lot. Hey, we won. So that's crazy. We actually won that one just because he didn't do anything. The Archfiend of Dross will kill you if you can't kill your opponent fast enough. I could have done some other stuff there, obviously, but I was keeping this Bitter Triumph on the off chance that he actually did something to try and kill me. That's a really funny way to win the first match. Harvester of Misery really helped out there, I think. But even without it, I still would have been at 2? Yeah, because it only did -2, -2. Anyway, though, a pretty funny Game 1 win. I'll definitely include this. That's the downside of Archfiend of the Dross. If you use it and can't kill your opponent fast enough, you just lose. Alright, opponent goes first again. We've got okay land. Up against Mono Red. I don't think we're fast enough to deal with Mono Red, if I'm being totally honest. That could help, though, a little bit of removal. I'm gonna have to play differently than I would have because of this. Should have probably went ahead and killed this before he could target it. Looks like he didn't have an instant speed pump spell, which is actually really good for me. Maybe he doesn't have any more creatures, but I doubt that. He'll probably burst lightning my Lily, which is fine.
Whatever. Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
If he doesn't have any creatures here, we stabilize really easily. Okay. So he has a mouse. I can kill the mouse, though. Yeah, let's just kill it. I really wanted to Bitter Reunion the Itali so that I could get started next turn, but I need him to run out of creatures. That one is at least a lot less of a threat, and we've got a cut down, which is pretty nice. I'm gonna go for a red since we've been running into some issues there. Bitter Reunion. Get a tally in our graveyard. Use a cut down here. Hopefully he doesn't have a pump spell. Okay, we're looking good, we're looking good. And I'll go ahead and get the Collector's Vault out too then. Alright, yeah. He was totally out of gas there. So another very easy win. We didn't even reanimate anything yet, but next turn we were going to be able to get started with that with both of our options. Just focused on completely running him out of creatures. Pretty easy. You know, mono red is nothing new. Understanding that you just got to wipe out all their creatures helps a lot. I really thought our deck was going to be too slow for mono red, but we ran into just the right amount of removal to keep them off of us while we set up. So anyway, that's a game 2 win, really quick and easy one. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Opponent going first again, and we have no red mana, so I think I'll keep it, honestly. I'm not that worried about getting Bitter Reunion out. There's our red right there, so that already solved that issue. I think I'm going to toss this land. I want other things. This creature could be really annoying. If I'm not mistaken, it's the one that creates a 5/5 if you have 6 land out on the battlefield, so right now it's pretty irrelevant. Ah, so he's trying to ramp into it. I'm just going to kill it with Lily as soon as possible, but for now, what do we do? Go Bitter Reunion and toss a tally into the graveyard. I think that works fine. We get land set up nicely for Lily. Now it can be an issue if he plays another creature here. Which he did. So I'm probably going to have to use my Bitter Triumph on this turn. No. I think I'm going to use Lily here still, and still minus, because it draws aggro away from me. He'll probably get rid of the 1/1 on his own. Yep, and then now he'll more likely attack Lily rather than me. Which I just realized we don't even have a reanimation effect yet. That's pretty bad. Okay, so he used Burst Lightning on the Lily, so we need something here.
Take my zombies and leave.
I'll probably just Bitter Triumph, though, and get rid of the opponent's card that way. I'm not terribly worried at the moment, to be honest. Go for a discard here. We've got way more than enough land in hand as it is. Play a mountain just cuz. Get our Overlord out, and I'm going to go for getting Lily back. Was not enough to kill the Overlord, so he'll have to use a second spell. If he has it. He may not have thought that far ahead. Okay, so he used 2 Obliterating Bolts to get rid of 1 Overlord. Not strictly speaking what I would have done, but... So we're going to go with the Trumpeting Carnosaur here and hope we hit a Reanimator. We did not, but that's okay. He's going to have a hard time getting rid of the Trumpeting Carnosaur, especially since he already blew 2 Obliterating Bolts to try and get rid of my Overlord. His deck's probably got a lot of land also, so... I'm just going to play Lily here, so no real issue there.
A fight? And you think you can... Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
And we've got Go for the Throat and Harvester of Misery ready to be used if necessary. He knows he's running it into a kill spell, which is hilarious. Let's get Fountain Port out, and I think I'm actually going to go Harvester of Misery main phase 1. It is going to make my Trumpet and Carnosaur weaker, but we can sacrifice the Bitter Reunion to give it haste and attack for more overall that way. Two 5s is better than 1 7. Alright now, come on dude, let me hit you. You don't have anything you can do with your mana anyway. Does he have a manland or something? Like, what's causing this stop? I don't understand why he has priority at all. There shouldn't be anything. Oh, because he can animate his tapped land. That's hilarious. Come on, dude. Just take the hit. You're losing. Even if he animates his land to attack Lily on the next turn, it's not going to help him any.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
So we do have Trumpeting Carnosaur and Harvester of Misery. Both are big enough threats for him to have to worry about. And if he doesn't kill Lily, then we can also -2 to get something off the board if he plays, for example, just that Boiler Bilges. And yeah, he'll probably take out our Harvester with that, or at least he should, because it has Menace. So if he does that, then we'll still have Lily to get one creature out of the way. And Trumpeting Carnosaur has Trample, so if he can't answer it... If he can't answer at least 2 threats on this turn, then he's gonna die. Okay, he got rid of the Harvester, so now he doesn't have to worry about me blocking with Menace. And the Brotherhood's End does unfortunately get rid of Lily, so he can block this turn, unless I get something useful. That's pretty useful. Valgavoth's Faithful's not bad either. We don't have the mana to reanimate anything else with it on this turn, but he's gonna have to give up the Boiler Bilges just to block this attack. now he's pretty much just out of luck this time. Because he has no way to stop the attack anymore. Ooh, Zombify. We'll see if he's just going to let us play stuff out, or if he'll just quit. Pretty sure he's just going to be roping us, but we'll see.
Something suspicious is going on. And for once, it's not my fault. I'm tired of your secrets.
Okay, he finally just gave up. He wasn't going to let us play it out. But there you go. 3 really quick and easy wins. Reanimator's fun. It's just silly getting to basically play everything for nothing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to go ahead and leave this one off here. We didn't get to showcase any great Reanimator plays, but you can see even in a fairly close match like this one, it can be devastating having Trumpeting Carnosaur playing stuff off the top of your library. The Belmark gave us 2 Lilies, essentially. This is our 3rd, which I think came from the opponent. Or no, this came from my deck, so because he's not playing black. But either way, yeah, really, really devastating deck. And pretty consistent too. Those wins were consecutive, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna try and get some more videos out this week, so one more for tomorrow, but I'll go ahead and get this one up so y'all can check it out soon.